Dirty D. Salty C. Oh, you hit me with your Manson lamps, D. Sometimes he's just like Dad. He just gets caught like staring at something. Hit me with them Manson lamps, boy. Buenos dias. Buenos tardes. Buenas noches.
I'm debating if we want to trim back his beard or just deal with it, brush it, and
It looks so nice. How
brush it,
could you
clip
do
out
it?
any little mats. Like I checked it yesterday, and there wasn't like any big mats. Just a little bit of his mustache was crusting up, but
Yeah, I'm gonna just stay on top of that stuff. It'll be fine. Hey, you streamed late last night. Oh yeah, yeah. I guess I did. It's a fun stream though, if I remember correctly.
yeah, you've had multiple late nights recently.
Well, my sleep schedule is doing its thing.
Yeah.
I'm now, I've reached the point where I'm staying up so late that I've now 2 times this week seen the sunrise before I laid down. So.
Gotta try scooching it back a little bit, I think.
Or just letting it move forward until I'm actually going to bed at the right time. That's the only 2 things that I know work. Someone unironically called me Oberstreichsführer on that argument. Oh, so like the Underführer or whatever, like the secondary Führer. Yeah, you were definitely a total Nazi, dude. Just remember, like, and this is a TJ thing, right? He said, "Yeah, dude, when somebody just absolutely destroys somebody else, then typically what they do is spend all day whining about how unfair it all was." They undermine their own argument by not like posting things that he said or did that actually proved me wrong, but by whining that you unfairly muted him. That doesn't sound like people who think they won something to me. That sounds like a salty bunch of bitches that knows they lost something. They didn't get what they wanted. They didn't come out looking like roses. And they're whining and making excuses for why Alchemist Soil couldn't stand up to me. And the one that they've landed on is that Phoebe muted him.
It wasn't like he was sustained muted for any significant period of time.
Mm-mm.
He was getting muted when like you were playing shit.
None of that matters. As soon as, like, it's like me, right? The amount of time that I spent calling him a faggot was probably like 0.000000001% of that 5.5 hour debacle. But it's the only thing they talk about. They don't talk about any of the points that Alchemist Soil made because he made none. All of his points actually went because he just chose the wrong way to get into them and immediately used like an example that didn't apply. You know what I mean? And had to be taught why it didn't. But anyway, long story short, when's the last time somebody blew somebody out at something and all that came out of their mouth was whining and whinging about how unfair it all was? I don't even have to make the contention that I won. They just admit it. But they're too stupid. Like the self-awareness dial over there is at 0. Like absolute 0. So what can you expect, bro? He agreed to it. He begged for it. He didn't just agree to it, he begged for it.
He tried to frame it as you begging for
Yeah, he tried to frame it as me begging for it when he sent alts in from his little community to beg me for it. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't I don't know that there's I tried to tell dude, you guys can hear it towards the end. I was like, there is no way, no way. There was no scenario tonight where I lose this. Right? Because if you look at what happened, an associate of mine made a couple $100, got a few subscribers, got some exposure, and my wheel keeps on spinning. So even if he just knocked my dick in the dirt on every point, Tuesday I'm right back live. So there was like the thing is he's a LolCal Live fan. He understands the idea of somebody getting content milked, but he doesn't seem to understand when he gets milked. Bro, he didn't make a dime off of that. Phoebe got paid. Of course, the retention and view hours are fantastic because it's a constant chaotic mess for 5 straight hours. Because that's what I provide. That's the Paul's Ego experience. I can maintain, you know what? I'm as hard-headed as you are. And I will sit and talk to the most pedantic, slippery, whiny little bitch all night if they're willing to stay in the fucking tiger cage with me. Because these people seem to think that by hanging in there, they're going to flip it. But what happens is they start to get fatigued. I don't. Like I said, I could have sat there 10 hours straight. See, that's the thing, is like these guys chuff themselves up so much that they start thinking that their little fantasies about me are true. But the truth of the matter is, not a single one of them could handle me. Not a single one of them can stand next to what I do and do it better than me. Why do you think not a single one of them, other than Alchemist Soil, has tried to reach out to debate me? All these guys know I'm such a fucking sex pest and all the other bullshit they make up about me. Not one of them has ever gone like, hey, Paul, why don't you get in a room with me and I'll pwn you? Not one. Wonder why that is. If I'm such an easy knockout, nah. I mean, the whole thing is funny. I love stirring the hornet's nest, and it's a big part of what I do, like as a job. Like a lot. There was a person, I read a comment in your comment section, Phoebes, that was like, you know, Paul made a mistake here. You don't defeat a person like this by giving them attention. You defeat them by ignoring them. And I was like, you know what? That's true. If I was an average person who just wanted an annoying little fucking pest to go away. You're absolutely right. But I'm not an average person. I'm not. I'm a person who causes reactions everywhere he goes, good, bad, or indifferent, right? And I've garnered a whole fucking crew of people who hate my guts. And I don't think ignoring them will ever, ever, ever work. You know what does work? Taking somebody that's got a mouth on them and then putting them in the lion's den with the target of all their ire. And then you watch how they act during and after. Crybaby bullshit. Whining about Phoebes, muting him up a couple of times. Boo-hoo-hoo, etc. That's not what a winner does after he blows somebody's asshole out. It's what a loser does when he gets spanked by his better. and has to figure out a reason why he lost that doesn't include he's stupid, unprepared, didn't see me coming, etc., right? Those are the truth. He thought he had me by the balls, and he found that I wasn't going to be a pushover, right? But he can't say that because it would mean he was unprepared for what he got himself into. So he's got to say it was unfair to preserve his ego. Oh, the reason why I floundered and lost and every one of my points fell flatter than a fucking crepe is because it was unfair. Because Phoebe muted me a couple of times. That's why every one of my points fell flatter than a crepe. You can't say every one of my points fell flatter than a crepe because I was not prepared for Paul's ego. I'm not prepared to do what Paul's ego does for a living. That's the truth, right? I flounder. I get flustered. There we go. Hopefully my audio didn't get fucked up. Got a phone call.
Well, it might be your prescription that was going to pick up later. Might be what the call was.
It might have been, yeah. I don't recognize the number, but I don't have the new one saved, I think. You should know how you're... Well, that's the thing, is like, this dude had all the time in the world to prep for this. We accommodated him. He was so stupid he couldn't figure out how to set up a Zoom call at the beginning. You remember that, Phoebes? We should just tell him about that. So we use StreamYard for it to stream it, which if you've ever been in a Zoom call, that's what it is. You click on a link in a web browser, and it takes you in, and you're in the room. He was whining and complaining and trying to back out because he wasn't familiar with StreamYard and didn't want to have to make an account. So even before it started, he was whining, bitching, moaning, and trying to squirm out of it. But I didn't let him. I said, get him in the room with me. And I walked him through how to click the link and get his StreamYard set up like a little piss baby. And then we went live. I literally had to go into tech support mode and treat him like he was a grandma that had never used Zoom. I'm not even fucking kidding. Grown-ass man.
And even the average grandma can figure it out.
No shit.
Well now.
That's what I told him. I said, dude, my mom knows how to click a Zoom link. Are you telling me that's hard? Well, I'm not familiar with the software. I said, it's not software. It's a website. Well, I just don't, so I have to make an account on this? No, it's a Zoom. Have you never been on a Zoom call? You click the link and you come in. Well, how do I make sure that my camera is not on? Don't turn it on? I don't know. I don't have your camera. Well, I just want to make sure that my camera is not on. How do I put my icon on there so my icon shows? I was literally had to give him tech support like he was a grandma after about 10 or 15 minutes of him squirming and trying to act like he was going to back out because he couldn't figure out Zoom. There's a little scuttlebutt from behind the scenes. Deny it.
And I think StreamYard is honestly easier than Zoom.
It is. It's monkey shit. You click button and you go. It's literal. They set it up so that you can send grandma an email with a link in it and she goes, and she's in there. Literally. And I had to walk him through every step of it, from turning on his mic to turning on his camera to uploading a picture so that he could have a picture on it to how do I talk, it was literally like he'd never done technology. If I sent that link to my mom, she would have been in the room quicker. And my mom's pushing 70. So the dude is obtuse and retarded as fuck. I didn't bring that up against him. I politely and calmly helped him get it set up. But this is the level you're dealing with. A dunce. No, my grandpa would have clicked the link. That's it. He couldn't do that. He told me about StreamYard like an hour before we started. It wasn't an hour. It was the morning stream. Or maybe it was. I don't know. But whatever. Like, the reason I told you about it is because it's easy. So there's no, I don't know how to get in the room. I don't know how to get my audio to work. Bullshit. It's just click the link.
Enable your mic.
They really ought to stop calling it StreamYard and start calling it talktomema.com. It's literally that. And the dude acted like he'd never touched a computer in his life. It was wild. And he was trying to squirm out. Well, I don't want to make an account on anything because I know nothing about the software. I'm like, dude, it's a website that you click on. It's not a software.
It's just your browser permissions.
Nobody's downloading anything. Nobody's, because he's desperate to keep. What he thought was, what if this is a site where they download my internet, where they get my IP address and triangulate my internet? He is so scared that power word real name comes out about him that he doesn't even know what StreamYard is or Zoom.
I don't want to get my email.
Oh, he's penoid as fuck. Remember, he said during the thing, right? When I said he's jobless, because he must be. He's all day, all night, right? He goes, yeah, well, the people in the server that know what I do for a living would probably think this is really funny right now, but go ahead. And now he's saying he erroneously thinks that I told people things about where I work in the server. I was like, well, which one is it? Were you lying then or were you lying now? Lying then to try and make a point, or lying now to try and obfuscate that you're scared shitless that one of these drooling little mongoloids is going to give me your name and or your place of business and or a fucking picture of you.
Assuming that what he's saying now is the truth, that he never told them anything that could be tied to him, he's going to be paranoid as fuck interacting with them.
I don't know which one, I don't know which statement to believe.
Yeah.
Because during the Phoebe show, he said that people know what he does for work in his server. Yeah. So which one is it? Which way? So have you bragged up what you do for a living, what kind of work you do? Or have you not? Because if you have, you better hope you haven't. You better hope those guys aren't keeping a dossier on you. I'd go back and I'd start deleting stuff. Like if I was Alchemist Soil and I had like a private Twitter or a Facebook out there or something, that shit would be gone today. Because if any of those people have any of that shit, matter of time. That's why starting drama online is the stupidest thing ever. Oh yeah, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. It takes somebody getting slapped in the face with the big wet dick of reality sometimes before they realize what's happened to them. There is a god. Her name is Karma, and she is ruthless. Got me the most about the stream, and I mean this is no offense to you, bro, but why do people like this act like you and the rest of the DFF crew have some major sway in politics? It's not about that anymore. So I can explain. These people exist because over the last 10 years or so, a culture has started to grow online. It has different names. Anti-fan communities is one of the names that people will say. Snark communities is how they're referred to often when you're talking about a subreddit, right? I don't really care what you call them. And these communities are basically based around constantly running the rumor mill, muckraking against some minor or major internet celebrity or real life celebrity, right? And doing it explicitly for the reason of posting every wild fucking thing, undercutting that person's reputation, trying to shit up that person's business, and celebrating if that person's business fails. And these are all over the place. So if you name me a streamer that you know, Hassan, huge anti-fan community. Destiny, huge anti-fan community. Vosh, huge anti-fan community. TJ has an anti-fan community that's all his own, that centers around him. And so do I, right? And there's a lot of, like, to be quite honest with you, it's an interesting time because this culture now has gotten big enough that people are starting to notice it, right? And ask themselves, like, is this a like part of Reddit's TOS or Twitter's TOS? Just like make slanderous shit up about people and continuously post it, right? And so Ethan Klein is currently in the process of suing a bunch of people who are part of the Snark community that surrounds him. And, you know, whatever. I mean, there could be some legal precedent. A little crack in the door opened up for people that are just have no because, you know, they'll ban you from the community. So you can even provide pushback on the community because if you're a person that says, hey, this isn't true, they ban you.
He's suing them for copyright infringement.
No, but the reason he's suing them is for discovery.
Yeah.
He wants to use their whole online footprint to show that they're unhinged thieves, barnacles on his on his content, and that they provide no critique or positive benefit to society, and that they're engaging in theft and slander, basically, is what he's planning on doing. And so it's kind of interesting to see. Paul asks to not have his appearance discussed, whether positive or negative. That is true. That is true. It's not an interesting topic to me, and I don't need flattery or otherwise, right? I appreciate the kind thoughts, but it gets real old sitting and listening to people talk about your hair or your beard or your eye color for fucking 17 hours a day. So I'd rather you didn't. But, you know, I mean, it is like, so right now it's at the point where it's like, yeah, how obsessive is legal? That's basically the line that's being mocked, right? Like, when do you cross over from just having fun online to digital stalking, like, and muckraking to the point where you're defaming a person, right? And that's the line that's being walked right now by these snark communities. The thing is that, like, Reddit is old hat at getting sued. Well, so when you want to sue somebody, like, let's say I wanted to sue Alchemist Soil and get his information through that, by the way, because he would have to fight tooth and nail to keep his name under seal if I sued him, to remain a doe in a lawsuit. But anyway, how would you even get it? I would file a court order and have Reddit give me his email, and then I would file a second court order and have Google give me his information. That's it. That's how you get somebody's information if you want to sue them, but you don't know their name or where they are. So, you get somebody's name that way, and I think we're in an interesting point where some of the bigger, more popular people are looking at their pocketbook bulging and going like, you know what, I may not win this, but it's going to get me a bunch of names of a bunch of vampiric weirdos, and I can append all of their comments right to their real name and real life. So even if I pay 50 grand and lose a lawsuit, it gets dismissed. What I've done is made a matter of public record how unhinged about 50 people are. And they're starting to do the math on that shit, and it's starting to look like that math might work out. This guy's wearing an earring. How sad. I'm wearing, it's not an earring. These are plugs. These are 00 gauge plugs.
Even if it was an earring, like, who the fuck cares?
I know, is this dude from like the fucking 40s or something? A man with an earring? Preposterous! Yeah, that's not what we call these though, bro. This is not earrings. These are plugs. I've got a big old gangly hole in my ear.
Have you still been tempted to get piercings elsewhere, or are you kind of over?
I want tattoos more than piercings at this point, yeah. Damn, that's a rough 40-year-old. I ain't 40, I'm 45. But thanks for the feedback. It's really useful. You know what I mean? And as an extension of that, these people are just the free-floating hostility people, right? They're part of the Snark phenomenon, right? Just absolute free-floating hostility from totally anonymous people, and they'll come back and back and back because every one of these social media platforms facilitates harassment via using alts to circumvent bans. So they come back and back and back. Alchemist 1. Hey, when the winners win, right? When a winner wins, do they usually celebrate or whine about how unfair it all was? I'll wait. I'd like an answer from you. So when somebody blows somebody's asshole out, do they usually A, celebrate and flex, or B, whine and cry about how unfair they were? I'll wait. I want you're in the eye of Sauron now. So I'm not even seeing anybody else in the chat. It's just you now. And your answer determines your future. The future of your account. When somebody wins, do they typically A, celebrate and flex, or B, whine about how unfair the fight was? I'll wait. Tick-tock, here comes the clock. 20 seconds. Here we go. The winner usually doesn't have the loser live in their head rent-free for days. Do you see my post over on the subreddit? This dude has posted an average of 6 times per day about me for 5 months straight. All you got to do is go to Reddit, click on his account, run a search for my name, Paul, and then do a little counting and do a little math. In the last 5 months, he has mentioned me just on Reddit. This isn't talking about Twitter, YouTube, or anything else. 6 times a day on average for 5 months straight. Now, who's rent-free? I'll wait. Next. You didn't answer my question, by the way. So I'll ask the official question again. When somebody wins, do they usually A, celebrate and flex, or B, bitch and whine about how unfair it was? Go. And you're on a 20-second timer as well. I'm not going to sit here and wait for you to hunt and peck. So A. So they typically celebrate. So you've answered A. They typically celebrate. Why is Alchemist Soil whining about how unfair it all was? Does that mean he didn't win? Why is he not acting like a victor? I just checked it. I had to scroll through 2 pages to get to yesterday. Who's rent-free again? Psycamerian? No. You're not asking questions. Who's rent-free? Me or him? Average of 6 times a day, just on Reddit. 6 times a day for 5 months straight. I'm rent-free in his head. I agree. Okay, so we're on the same page. All right, moving on. Yeah, I thought you disagreed with me. I asked who's rent-free, and you said you. So thank you. Anyway, moving on. What are we talking about? What is this beef? There is no beef. I'm so lost, but what is bro talking about? Bro, you're not going to find out anything by pretending you matter in the chat other than how to get your ass banned out of here. This has been going on now for half an hour, right? And you're not special. Nobody was waiting for you to show up so they could catch you up in the chat. See how that works, bro? You're not a snowflake. So act like it, right? You're a literal mouth on the internet, so pretend it. Like, know your role. Nobody was waiting for you, and nobody's going to notice when one of my mods snakes you right the fuck out of here. So, you know what I mean? Learn your lesson. Stay in your lane, all that shit. And in general, just know your betters. I'm better at this on a bad day than you ever will be. He's streaming to 31 people going over the debate. Remember when he was like, it's a lot more than 30. It's a lot more than 30. When I told him, like, it's you and 30 obsessive little tiny dick weirdos. You know, it's a lot more than 30. Dude, he's pulling the big num-nums, dude. Oh my God, dude. They try and amplify it so much. But the truth of the matter is, there's about 15 or 20 of these idiots. They make alts, you know, they farm up votes for themselves to try and look at like but like when it comes down to it, there's 15 or 20 of these morons. So. Dude, these dudes that come in and cheerlead him too, that think they're doing a good job by getting dismantled, I love them too. Like Psychamery in here got absolutely undermined about 5 minutes ago, and he's still in here trying to take swings. He's fucking hilarious, dude. The lack of self-awareness is wild, dude. If I were him, I would tell you, dude, shut up. You're not like making me look good. Just stop, bro. Shh. Don't look unhinged. We're trying to be like normal people over here. Shh. Don't look unhinged. I removed the thing because it makes me look unhinged. Yeah. There was a huge thread over there the other day. I guess the guy realized it made them look unhinged and he deleted it. But it was a huge discussion about whether or not it was okay for them to misgender Phoebe. They are just absolutely, tragically upset that I called him a faggot, right? But there was a huge thread over there discussing the ethics of misgendering Phoebe that got removed, swept under the rug, because it makes the community look like what it is, a bunch of shut-in weirdo stalker types. That's exactly what it is. Dude, I'm gonna say it again. 6 posts on Reddit just about me per day for half a year straight. And that's just alchemist soil. There are dudes over there that are worse. So it's creepy, it's obsessive, it's stalkery behavior, and it's fucking pathetic besides all that. Like, it's a fucking pathetic thing for a grown-ass man to spend his time doing. I think Alchemist is annoying on a good day. Good for you, bud. Do you have anything to add? I'm going to give you one last chance. So right now you're at the gallows. Your hands are tied up. I'm about to ask Phoebe to put the hood over your head and hang you. What are your final words? Because this will be it. You're going to have to make an alt if you ever want to speak in here again, because you are one of the most boring motherfuckers that ever came in here trying to chuff up an obsessed autist. I mean, it is like, dude, if, like I said, if I were him, I would tell you, dude, like, shh. You just look retarded, bro. So here you are at the gallows, hands tied behind your back, rope around your neck, waiting for Phoebe to put the hood. So here's your last thing. I don't care to speak in here, but Phoebe, you can hit me up on Discord if you want. LaMayo. All right. Weird last words. Pull the lever. Let him dangle. He's fucking dead. See how that works? I don't care to talk in here. Dude that's obsessively talking in here. It's wild. It's like the self-awareness is fucking zero. It's like they took the slider stat in character creation, put everything in obsession and zero, and to make room for that, to make room for over-pumped obsession, they put self-awareness at 0. They literally can't tell that they're refuting what they're saying. Like, I don't care to talk in here. Dude, he posted like 19 comments in a row in here. And he'll be back on an alt in 5 seconds. Well, there's a big cry post going on right now. The ultimate cry post apparently is happening concurrent. He's streaming and recontextualizing his piss poor performance into a win. And I'm going to take a guess. I'm not even watching it because it's live now. How could I?
It's a premiere. It's not a live.
Oh, I thought he was live. Anyway, he's premiering it now, right? So I'm going to guess that it's a lot of whining about how unfair everything was, and not a whole lot of flexing or celebrating points that were made. Because that's what his reaction has been within his own community. Not one of them has been like, Alchemist Soil, you did a badass fucking job holding Paul's feet to the fire on Anne Frank. You really showed him. Or, hey, Alchemist Soil, man, you really fucking pwned Paul on Electro. Like, none of that. It's all just crybaby boohoo. Phoebe was mean. If she wouldn't have muted Alchemist Soil, he would have won. Oh, shit. New Jersey. Flight, hotel, VIP ticket. Beautiful. Beautiful, Pranam. Beautiful. Mwah. Gay little haircut. Hey, what's up, Psychomorian? Oh yeah, this stuff really is fun. You know what I mean? It's all fun till one of your autistic followers gives me your name. It's all fun. It's all fun and games till reality comes knocking. Dude, I was so fucking nonplussed at the end. I got, like, since he's running through it, I'll run through it. I was so nonplussed at the end of the Anne Frank thing because I thought from the very jump that his whole point was that I was some sort of Nazi sympathizer or something. And when he said, like, I do not think that about you, then I was like, oh, well, I don't even fucking care about this anymore. Next. Like, I don't, at that point, I was like, well, you don't think that about me, then why do you say it all the time? But if that's the case, if you're going to just completely back off of it and say I'm not a Nazi, then I don't care about anything else. I don't care about what you think me giving my opinion does or doesn't do. I have nothing to add or subtract from that. Your mind is not mine, right? I can talk about what I do, and as long as you're admitting that that's what I do, like, I didn't even know, like, the whole time I was arguing with him because he and his community have, for months, like I said, him himself, 5 months, calling me a neo-Nazi. To hear him just say, like, you're not a Nazi. I don't think you're a Nazi at all. So that was wasted time. From my perspective, that was an entirely wasted argument because he wasn't even going to bring the argument he's brought in his public videos. So, yeah. I just don't get it. Yeah, then he called me a stooge for the alt-right. Well, which one is it? It's like, you know, the faceless commentary snark community seems to have a tactic. It's called throw every piece of shit against the wall and see what sticks. Right? And it's like, you can do that when you're cloistered off in your little shit talking coven. But when the dude that you're talking about is right in the room, he sure as hell is not going to let you have 15 incongruous opinions about him. I'm a Nazi when I'm not around and he's making content. But in private, I didn't ever say that, dude. What? What? So, it's pretty fantastic. Yeah. So part of Alchemist's prep that ended up blowing up in his face because I'm not the type to be hand waved, but he practiced, I could tell, with his girlfriend, the hand wave. So let Paul talk, and then when he's done, go, yeah, whatever, and then try and read from a script. And that's just like elementary school shit. It's like nanny, nanny, boo, boo, I'm not listening, right? Which the whole point was to talk to me, but he kept going, I just want chat to know. I just want chat to know. I just want chat to know. And it's just like, huh? I'm here. I'm in the room. Right? So his whole like debate prep was nanny, nanny, boo, boo. I'm not listening to you. So I would spend time asking him a very pointed and easy question, and he'd go, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Blah, 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 you know, and I'm not just going to let him keep talking. So I'd talk right back over him and try and get him to answer the question. Then he'd accuse me of talking over him because he was answering the question by saying he doesn't care and wasn't going to answer the question. And that went on 15, 20, 2 dozen times. We had to show him a clip 5 times before he would quote it accurately. Twice. I mean, you know, if that's a good debate performance, I'd hate to see a bad one. What's a bad one look like? What's a bad one look like when you start off calling me a fucking weirdo Nazi eugenicist by talking shit out of your asshole that's immediately proven wrong by Wikipedia? Was that a debate own? Because I've never seen somebody win a debate by losing a debate. Like, he was literally like 10 minutes of that debate. I wonder if he's going to sit there and leave it in and watch it and talk, like, give commentary about him desperately searching for some spurious website to contradict Wikipedia, which is sourced and uncontroversial on the subject, right? Just absolutely easy to find. He's got a fucking hour or 2 hour long video where that's the main point, is that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about on the Nordic countries and their history with fucking eugenics. Turns out he didn't know. How's that a debate win? How is having the definition of doxing in front of you and plugging your ears and saying, nuh-uh, nanny, nanny, boo-boo, I didn't, when it literally, like, the definition of doxing describes what he did? right? How's that a debate win, bro? I've never seen somebody win a debate by getting proved wrong and going nuh-uh. So I'm really curious. Why is there no energy in his community that he won? Why is it all talking about how whiny, fucking unfair it all was? Why is there no like, dude, you blew his ass out, bro? Every post in their subreddit right now is, Phoebe fucking muted him. It was rigged. Like, that doesn't sound like, it's like the Raiders. Like, let's say the Raiders won the Super Bowl and they're all partying right in the aftermath. And the newscasters are like, oh my God, the Raiders fans are going wild. Their first Super Bowl since the 1980s. This man is a wild fan. How do you feel about it? Man, those refs are really mean, man. Those refs are really mean to the Raiders. And it's like, everything was so unfair. Everything was so unfair. Oh my God, the fans are wild. What about you, ma'am? You look like a Raider fan. I just think it's just like wild how unfair this game was that we just fucking won, you know? You know what I mean? Like, make it make sense. Put it in reality and make it make sense anywhere other than a subreddit. He has fans. He has temporary fans only because the only thing he does is talk about me. None of them show out for any videos he makes that aren't about me. You go to his channel, he's got 2 or 3 videos that don't have me in the thumbnail, and they all have half or less the amount of views as every other video. So he thinks he has fans. He thinks he's building a community of fans, but what he's building is a community of people that like to watch him pick at me. And those people get bored real easily, and when they do, guess what they do? He'll find out. He'll find out what they do. I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, he's got one video about something that isn't me, and it has 177 views after being up for what, 2-3 weeks? 177. Not 177,000. 177. Amelia has younger siblings. Well, no, I mean, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. These people are fucking creeps, bro. Like, absolute creeps. His contention was, I cut out the personal identifying information about Amelia. But then he admitted that he's the one that disseminated the account that he knew was filled with personal identifying information about Amelia. So it doesn't, and he couldn't make the cognitive dissonance is so hard that he couldn't make the connection. It's like, wait a minute, you just said you released it. You're the reason why the wider community knows that that was Amelia's account. Yes. So you released her personal information. No, I took all of that out. I didn't talk about her medications, but you told everybody where they could go find it. Well, yes. So you released. No. It's just like, what a worm. Like, if you're going to do, and then he took it down like it's a great act of honor or something. And it's like, bro, you're a belly crawling worm. Taking it down was the basic human thing to do. You don't get props for it. You don't get props for it. And at this point, Amelia doesn't care about it anymore, right? It's been months. I know in your guys' world, everything is always happening forever, but it's literally been months. She doesn't think about it. So I kind of wish you'd put it back up so that people could immediately see how your channel started with sleazebag doxing. Yeah, I'd kind of wish you would put it back up. But don't worry about that. One of your little sleazebags will do it for me. They probably already have it mirrored. So, you know what I mean? You trying to pretend out of some nobility and care about Amelia after months of mercilessly making fun of her. You thinking that makes you look noble or makes you the bigger man or some shit is fucking wild. You didn't even admit to any wrongdoing, so why'd you take it down? You know what I mean? So it's just such a stupid bonehead move for him to do, because it once again, he did what I warned him not to do. Because his community was not happy, by and large, that he took that down. And what did I tell him yesterday? He said he watched the stream yesterday. What did I tell him yesterday? I said, you better make sure that you dot all your I's, cross all your T's, and curly Q all your Q's with these people. Because you piss them off and start doing something they don't like, one of them's going to get bored and give me your name. And tell me where you work in Los Angeles and what you do for a business. And he immediately did something that was wildly unpopular in that community, because they love discussing the personal details of my wife. And they shit on him for it. So it's like, will that be the straw that sends one of them into my DMs? Yeah, he's a weasel. Yeah, I was right about him in the thing. He's a chicken heart. He's a lily liver that doesn't stand on the courage of his convictions. And I can hear him responding to that. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, if anybody in the chat wants to know, like, dude, you thought that was gonna win? Like, you thought that was gonna be a win? Never answer a question. Answer questions with questions. And nanny nanny boo boo. And everything Paul says goes away. I'm a better motor mouth, though. That's the problem, see? Everything he does, I'm better at than him by a fucking measurable margin, right? And so it was like a 98-pound wimp picking a fight with George Foreman or some shit, right? He's got a 20-year career sitting in front of him, and he's a 5-month, 200-view Andy. And he stepped in the ring and he got bloodied up, and his little supporters are like, it's okay, he cheated and beat you up. And that's where he's at right now, dude. Having a cope stroke session over on his channel, right? But reality doesn't lie, bro. The argument is what it is. People can go watch. Didn't land a single point. Every point you brought up was dismissed because it was wrongly applied or completely based on incorrect information, right? So you had a chance publicly to talk about how you think it's the ethical thing to pull down the video about my wife, right? But you said, nah, in public. And then the next day, you make a long post in a Snark community about why it's the ethical thing to take it down after it's been up there for 5 months. And he's talked about it sometimes upwards of 6 times per day, every day, 7 days a week for 5 months. Yes, because it wasn't her public profile. She never appended her name or posted anything that would identify her to the general public as Amelia. So yes, it had private information about her because she asked questions on Reddit. Like, what do you think about this medication? Anybody been on this? Anybody ever moved to this town? They found out where I live because she asked on her Reddit that had nowhere had her name. What do you think about this town? Now they know the town I live in. So you see what I mean? So yeah. All it did was give you ammo to nuke him from orbit. He might as well restart with a new channel. Oh no, his ego is too big. He actually, if you listen to him, hear the excited little quiver in his voice when he looks and sees that he's got 10 subs for 5 hours of work. He was like, oh, 10 subs. Like, you go listen to it. We should make a drop of it. There's like, I remember there's a little scrotal in his throat. He was so like the butterflies came up. He was like, 10 subs. Like, he thinks he's building an empire, bro. an empire of autistic, creepy, obsessive weirdos. A literal island of misfit toys. But I'm the manatee. He's using a thumbnail with me on the manatee, but he's literally collected an island of misfit weirdos that are welcome nowhere else, that chuff him up when he loses. Who's that sound like? That sound like anybody we know situation? I seem to remember an individual that was known for doing that in a situation. He would find people that hated other people in a situation, but were completely reprehensible, kissless, virgin, loser, garbage people in a situation. And then he would go and talk shit with those people in private in a situation. And then eventually something would happen. What would happen in a situation? One of them would stab him in the back in a situation, reveal a bunch of info about him in the situation. You guys remember this? You guys remember how the manatee would get these weirdos like porm jorm around him, right? Brett is a very good man. And then he'd do a big info dump on Brett for us. Remember that shit? Well, how did that happen to Brett? Well, he collected a bunch of really socially awkward, weird, kissless virgin weirdos that were like online stalker types and made buds with them and started telling them personal shit. Started getting too fancy free and thinking he wasn't being recorded and thinking he wasn't being monitored, and started thinking that he had a bunch of friends with no faces. Friends with no faces. Friends that he doesn't even know are not the same guy. Some of his friends might be 3 people, but it's one guy. He has no way of knowing because he's never seen any of these people. And if he has, if they all have, I'm going to upload this video called Paul a Pedophile in a Situation. I'm going to post all over the internet about how Paul Zingle is a pedophile in a situation. I'm going to post all over the internet about Paul's wife's situation. You know what I mean? Anybody think Paul's acting like the manatee situation? It's like cognitive dissonance levels 10. It's off the fucking scale, bro. You guys broke the meter. It's wild. 10 subs for 5 hours of getting his ass spanked because he has 30 fans and they have 30 alts. Yeah. He did dude, go back and listen to it. He has a little scrotal in his throat. He goes and checks and he goes, oh my God, I got 10 subs. It's like he couldn't hold it back. He was so excited for 10 subs. Oh my God, I got 10 subs. Yo, is deadlifting 115 good or not, bro? Do I look like I could barely lift my fat ass out of a chair, bro. Nobody will outclass BK as a hater. BK had the least livable scum trait. Yeah, that is true. So he's actually like worse than the manatee, because at least the manatee got actual coverage and views on his shit. Oh shit, man, that's fucked up. What the fuck, bro? Ooh, baby, it's a wild world. Do. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ooh, baby, it's a wild world. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And I'll always remember you. Well, he doesn't think that revealing somebody's public records is doxing. He said it himself. So yeah, as soon as I get his name, I'm going to dig through his whole life. I'm going to do a background check on him. Might even hire a PI. I got some money set up. Like, I want to find out who he associates with and all kinds of shit, because it's all publicly available information. And crazy thing about it, he's a public figure. So it's a matter of public interest. I'm a journalist. So as soon as one of those autists gets pissed at him because he didn't do what they thought he should do and gets bored, decides to drop a name, I'm going to trace his whole life. I'm going to find out his court records, when his parents got a divorce, all of it, because it's all public information and he's a public figure, so it's a matter of public interest. I mean, I wouldn't do that normally, but he convinced me. That is the one thing he won on. He convinced me that it, in his case at least, in the single case of him, it would not be doxing for me to take scuttlebutt that was told to me by somebody that read something that he considered to be not my business, right? Or has a picture of him that he sent in private, right? And didn't mean to have spread around, or something he told them verbally in private, right? In a public arena. And it was overheard by someone, right? He told me unequivocally he thinks that's all public information. So when I do find his name and release it, find where he works and release it, he won't have any crying to do. He'll just pull his channel down, probably. That's what I would do. But I'd do it before I got that info if he wants to fucking fade. But he won't, because he's building a community. They're literally sobbing on Reddit about the thought of the doxing being turned around on a. Oh, I know. It's fucking hilarious. But it won't be doxing, because one of you is going to get pissed off at him enough or bored enough and want to cause a little chaos and stir up some drama. One of you is going to tell me where this motherfucker works. One of you is going to give me power word real name, and I'm going to use it. How old do you think this guy is? Sadly, I think he's in his 30s. If I had to take a random fucking stab at it. That's the sad truth. I think this is a dude in his 30s. And I do think he's got a little job somewhere where if people found out he was an unhinged stalker weirdo that posts about another man 6 times a day, every day for 5 months straight, yeah, it might fuck up his mojo at work. But hey, that's the... Bro, when you become a public figure, that's the risk you take, man. Freedom of speech is not freedom from consequence, bro. Don't talk to me like a valley girl, bro. Stop. Oh my God. Like, don't come in here with that fucking energy ever. I don't like it. I don't like the multiple P's energy. Don't do it. Yeah. If I had to take a guess, late 20s to mid 30s is where I would peg him at. Is that Kayla? Well, you can unhide her. You know, I didn't say hide her. I was just saying don't bring the fucking multiple P's. He's 20? Oh. Well, I thought he didn't reveal personal information. So like, I'm building a dossier, right? So what has he revealed? Well, he revealed he lives in Los Angeles. He posted some first-person footage from a protest in Los Angeles. So I guess we could probably make some assumptions that he probably lives within 5 or 10 miles of the protest site. It gives us an idea which part of LA he's probably from. So we know he works a business in that part of LA. So it's really not hard to put the numbers together. So he's already not invisible. He's already a dotted outline that's starting to look like a person. And that's just on what we've told him. I don't remember him saying he was 20, but if he did, then that's pretty fucking sad too. About sub sandwiches. Yum. Yeah, no worries. How do we find this guy? Go to Phoebe's channel and you can see my 5 hour and change long argument with the dude. That's the best way to see it. That is the director's cut version, right? It's the best version, right? It's the Criterion Collection version. It is Phoebe's latest live. So you go to her channel, linked there by Otello, and you click her live tab, and it'll be obvious because my face is on it. The idea of finding out any internet personality's public info never even crossed my mind. Well, that's because you're not a fucking creepy, obsessive weirdo, dude. Like, yeah. It usually doesn't cross people's minds to, like, cross the boundary of fucking privacy violation with people. But then there are people who live in this psychotic bubble where, because they think they're anonymous, they can say whatever they want because they can never be held to account for it. But when they are, all of a sudden they cry victim, right? But the truth of the matter is, this won't be the first nor the last time that somebody has risen up in the community as a little minor hater and then get drummed out of it completely, right? These communities tend to be in flux pretty much constantly. The rules change, they ban each other, they get butthurt at each other, they dox each other because they're that types of people, right? And I've just let them all know, and now he knows they all know. Every last one of them, even the lurkers, right? The people that are just there to eat popcorn and see what they get up to. Any of those people ever want to cause a little chaos, they know exactly where to do it, and they will. It's like a matter of time. It's a matter of time. Like I said, just from his publicly given information, he's the outline of a little guy already. He's not Zorro, the invisible mystery man. We know what town he lives in. We know where he grew up and lives. We have a good inference, the area of the big area that he lives. So we know he lives in LA because he said that. He posted footage that he recorded in an LA video, from what I understand. So we know the neighborhood that he likely lives within 10, 15 miles of, which gives us geographical location. We know he works in that area and lives in that area. And, so already his outline is becoming a little clearer day by day. He constantly interrupts his girlfriend and gets easily mad, it sounds. Oh, yeah, for sure, 100%. He was flustered almost immediately, bro. If you want to see my favorite fluster moment, find when the eugenic shit starts. And by the way, Phoebes, just a little bit of advice. It'll take some time, but you should do the timestamps thing where it breaks it up. You should do the chapters to the best ability that you can. I know it goes all over the place, but people will come back to your video more if it's broken up into chapters, right? Like they'll keep coming back to it and those views will keep racking up if you put those chapters in. So I'd get to work. I'd do that soon. You should 100% do that because people will fucking keep on coming right back. No. But if you bring up sub sandwiches one more time, I will notice you. Like him constantly interrupting. Oh, well, whatever. I interrupted the fuck out of him, too. I don't know what the fuck he expected. That I was going to be polite and follow decorum with a weirdo. Like, I have nothing but contempt for her. Like, and he's told everybody in no uncertain terms he has nothing but contempt for me, but he thought he was going to have a polite discussion where I let him read a script. Nah, bro. He didn't know, people forget, bro. People forget who I am and how long I've been doing this and how many people have risen and fallen during my career. And yet here I am. So dude just forgot himself. He got chuffed up a little bit too much because he was having his little, circle jerk ritual with the Island of Misfit Toys every day, 6 times a day on Reddit for the last 5 months, which is just verifiable fact, by the way. I didn't make that up. You can go to his Reddit account, search it for Paul, and count how many times he's posted about me in the last 5 months, and then do a little quick division and find out the average amount of times he's posted about me in the last 6 months. And it is 6 per day. Just on Reddit. Just on Reddit. That's not comments, that's not alts, that's not Twitter, that's not any of the Discord shit that he admits to do. Just on Reddit. 6 per day, 7 days a week for going on half a year. Just on Reddit. Just Reddit. Not on Discord, not on his own channel, not in the comment sections, not Twitter, not Facebook, not any of the other things they use, not Discord. That doesn't count any of that. He posts about me 6 times per day, 7 days a week for the last 6 months. Or 5 months, going on 6. Half a fucking year, and I am his breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, dessert, and late night binge. Every day, 7 days a week. So if he's as active on these other things as he is on Twitter, that could be if he's got 3 things going. So let's say he's got a Twitter, he's got a Reddit. We know his Reddit is 6 times a day, every day with no breaks, 7 days a week for 6 months. We know that. That's an incontrovertible fact. That anybody can verify those numbers. Okay, we know that. So let's extrapolate that he does it 2 other places. Let's say he's got a Snark Twitter that I don't know about. And we don't even have to say we know he runs a Discord about me. So let's say that he's just as active on that Snark Twitter and the Discord, right? That's 18 posts a day. Every day, 7 days a week for 6 months. And that's just presuming that Reddit's not the only place he's posting this shit. And he's told us that he does it on Discord. So let's assume he's just as active in that community that's all about me as he is there. Conservatively, 16 posts per day, every day, 7 days a week, unbroken for going on half a year now. Stalker behavior. Obsessed level off the fucking charts. Weirdo creep behavior. Dude, at the height of Brett Keane shit, and my fucking social media is still up, at the height of Brett Keane being a fucking lol cow on DP, I never came anywhere close to posting about him 6 times a day, 7 days a week for 6 months straight. And you can quote me on that. You can take that to the fucking bank. And I was cashing checks off of that. Big ones. I lived in a high-rise in Bellevue off of that. Dude, there were some times when Brett would probably on average post about me for 6 times a day, but that's fucking Brett Keane. And I don't even know if his unbroken streak would be anywhere near half a year. I think even Brett Keane, during the height of all that, took more breaks than this dude did. He touched grass more than this guy did. Like, and that's just honest to goodness. It's hard to verify it with numbers because Brett Keane's accounts come up and go down. But dude, I would never, even during that time, have thought that I could verify that Brett Keane had posted about me an average of 6 or 12 or 18 times a day, every day of the week, holidays included, for 6 months. I don't even think the manatee was that obsessed. And I'm not even fucking, no hyperbole. I bet, you know, if you could have a theoretical tool to comb through his social media, I don't think he ever hit that streak. I don't ever think the manatee unlocked the achievement for an unbroken streak of 6 Paul posts a day on any social media site for 6 months. And I'll stand on that. I'll stand on that. I don't think the manatee ever did it. Couldn't you sue him? Nah. It is a way that I could get his name, right? But I just, you know, it's a waste of money. You know, the courts are heavily stacked for good reason against defamation, but I could sue him for defamation, which would compel him to give me his personal information. And then, of course, it would be part of a public court proceeding. And so that public information then could be released, but it would cost me some money. And then, you know, I've got plans for my money that don't include, you know, paying for something. Like, why buy the cow when I'm going to get the milk for free? You know, like that's the way I think about it, is like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, why buy the cow when one of these autistic weirdos is just going to give me a big glass of frosty milk for free down the line? You know, so all I have to do is go and keep the drama stoked. Who was it that figured out that he posted 6 times about me every day for the last 5 months? Who was that, like, did the math on me, on that for me? Because that shit was wild and verifiable. And I kind of want to know some of these other dudes. I kind of want to start posting some stats on these dudes. Just like publicly available stats. How many times do these dudes post about me on average? You got me the total, Otello? Okay, cool. Well, if you're ever bored, bro, because I think it's actually interesting, right? You see one of these dudes that's super active, let's see. Like, what are these guys posting? Like, how much time are these guys devoting to me on average? Just on Reddit. What's their subreddit? Enough Paul's Ego Spam. So it's R Enough Paul's Ego Spam. And it's a cope fest right now. You know, be warned. The total was 531 yesterday. It's now 542. Oh my fucking God. So he's hit his quota for yesterday. Exceeded his quota for yesterday is what you're telling me. So he's above average yesterday. Yeah. Let's keep a running tally of that. Because he might, like, he's the type of guy I feel like he's going to go back and start deleting shit. So yeah, let's keep that number in mind and keep a running tally on that, if you don't mind, because that's an interesting number that's growing rapidly. How many times is this guy posting about me per day, every day, on average? Let's see how deep the obsession goes. We already know it's half a year of me every day, and that's just Reddit. He's admitted he's got a Discord that he does all this shit in too. So how many posts over there about me per day? Are we up to 18? Every day, 7 days a week, holidays included, for half a year. I'm just going to keep repeating that. Because that is wild. Wild behavior. That's fucking out of pocket wild behavior that there's no analog to that I can think of. How many videos do you take to the center of Paul's ego. Yeah, 1 or 2, 2,000. Bro, my new favorite comment on the stream just happened. Phoebe won this debate handily. Is that supposed to be a flex or something? Is that supposed to be a critique? Or is that a fan of yours that's in his chat? Because if they're trying to critique, I don't think they understand what that means. 200, trust me, bro. No. Take that number of people that you can see that are on that Reddit, 246. Take that number and keep in mind that each one of these people probably got about 10 alts apiece. They are known for creating alt after alt after alt after alt to circumvent bans. So keep in mind, it's very, very easy to set up multiple accounts on under one Reddit account and subscribe to a subreddit. The traffic and engagement that subreddit gets belies 18 to 20 people max, individuals, that ever participate or even look at it. So that 246 number is a little bit inflated. The dude mostly doesn't even get 246 views on a video. So, yeah. Well, TJ would have won, but this time. And by the way, Pranav, don't touch the poop over there. It ain't worth it. You don't want those people digging through your shit. You just don't want it. Don't touch the poop. It ain't worth it. Those people, they're literally unhinged over there. All you have to do is scramble your IP address and make a new Reddit account. Yeah, but I mean, all of that is logged, right? So you can change your fucking variable IP, right? That's a possibility with some people, by the way. You can use a VPN, but all of those actions are logged and appended to you. By your ISP and by the government, according to Snowden, right? If he lied, I don't know why he's in exile. You know what I mean? Like, if everything he said was a fucking bunch of bullshit, I don't know why he's not allowed to come back to the United States and live as a free person here. Sucks you had to deal with these Mongoloids? Nah, dude. Occupational hazard. It's the same way, like, it sucks when you have to deal with somebody that's incompetent or some person that's in your face about a loan or this, that, or the other thing, right? Occupational hazard, bro. Bullshit begets bullshit begets bullshit. And this ain't my first rodeo with an obsessed anti-fan community. Some of them, one of them I know for sure, Naru, has been in every obsessed anti-fan community that I've ever had since 2015. So we're talking about a decade of solid obsession. So, one of those things, man. I thought about touching the poop over there, but I just read a little bit, got secondhand embarrassment and left. Yeah, don't touch the poop. There's no point, man. There's no point in touching that poop. Beyond unhinged weirdos, bro. I can be a little bit of an unhinged weirdo sometimes. These people are like obsessives. Literally, there's a psychological term for them. They have a parasocial obsession with me. And it expresses with a lot of really fucking pathetic behavior. Pathetic, whiny, bitchy, catty, little teenager behavior. Mean girl stuff. Mean girl behavior out of grown-ass men. How old are you? So this is beyond just like, these are obsessive stalker weirdos. 100%. That's what I'm saying. You're not dealing with a normal person here. Like, normal people don't have fucking 15 seconds in their day for some shit that they hate, right? That's a normal person. But the world is filled with abnormalities. And when they conglomerate, even around a small internet celebrity like me, right? Tiny little internet celebrity, micro celeb, right? When they conglomerate enough, they create a mass. And it gets sadder the longer they exist, because they don't just work on each other. They don't just work on their target, they work on each other. Every one of these anti-fan communities goes, it eats itself. People backstab, dox each other. It's just a matter of time, bro. There will be no unity. That's another one that I think I'm going to work on too. Old Sweet Pea seems to agree with Alchemist Soil. So I think I might have a way to get some actual name information on Old Sweet Pea and do a little fucking public record search on him and publish some. I think that might actually be of public interest. And as long as it's publicly available information that was posted publicly on a Discord or something, I think I'm well within my rights to publish. Yeah. So that's another one I'm going to look into. Naru, I've got him sewed up, bro. I know where he works. I got him. Right. So the docket is pretty much all but fucking done on Naru. But Brad, I know some people who know Brad. Like, they've known Brad for a long time. So I'll ask around and get a little docket going. I'm super interested to see Brad's public records, his court records in particular. I want to see how many coke busts are on it. How many drunken disorderlies, how many possession of cocaine, how many intent to purchase or distribute coke. Yeah. I want to see how many. I know for sure he's got at least a rap sheet about it. I want to know how long it is. And it's public information. So, by the way, feel free to look at my rap sheet. There's nothing on it. Like, I've never been to prison, never been in trouble with the law. This guy is a cokehead. Bet he's got a rap sheet a mile long, and I'd love to do an expose on that. This happens. Oh, if this happens, it'll be at my discretion, right? And I would never sully anybody's channel with it, right? It'll be at my discretion. But when I have it, I'm going to reach out to these people individually and let them know that I have it. And then I'm going to tell them that I intend to publish it. And then I'm just going to sit on it. It might be for a day. It might be for 6 months. That's my plan. It might be forever. Like, I might never publish. But I want them to think, is today the day for the rest of the time that they participate in my community and beyond? Is today the day that karma knocks? So that's my plan. And I'm open and honest about it. The seeds of mistrust have already been planted. Oh, yeah. Well, you saw how they reacted poorly when he took down the video. A lot of them were like, I definitely disagree with this. And I was like, uh-oh. The first cracks of division have started to show. Alchemist Soil is trying to coddle Paul. He got manipulated by Paul. He's weak. It's a pretty short leap from that to, I bet Paul would like to know where Alchemist Soil works, because he brags about it all the time in our Snark Discord. I would like to pass it along to him in a anonymous way. No. It's an absolute simple thing to live by the courage of your own convictions in the online space the same way you do if you introduce yourself to somebody in public, right? It is an absolute simple thing for most people to do. But there are cowards, chicken hearts, lily livers, bitches, pussies in this world, unfortunately. And those types of people will forever self-defeat because they haven't actualized, right? That's the truth. They haven't actualized as people. The amount of their life spent pretending is obscene. And it always burns out. It always flames out. It always blows up in their face. And it's a matter of time. You know what I mean? That I know for a fact, if nothing else. I don't know what creates a man like that, but gotta be some mommy daddy problems. I don't know though. Like, I don't know. I have no frame of reference on that type of mindset, that level of obsession. Though here's another narrative they tried to spin that I caught yesterday. They made fun of Dorn. Why can't we make fun of Amelia? Dorn had a YouTube channel, idiot. She was a content creator, and she was in every one of Brett's videos for years. It's like these people don't even know the history of the shit that they're fucking talking about. Brett had Dorn had her own YouTube channel that hosted Brett's videos when his shit would go down and had her own content on it. And it was up for years, bro. Years. All throughout the DP drama, that shit was up. That information doesn't fit their narrative, so you won't find it anywhere on their subreddit. What you will find them is comparing their situation to Dorn. Dorn routinely popped in Brett's streams and yelled at us and argued with us. Brett was a participant. Dorn was a participant. She was a content creator and a public figure who participated in Brett's fuckery. She was not a poor little wife that never said nothing or never did that. The only reason we knew who she was, because Brett's videos for years started with, "Hi, this is Don Keene. If you would like to leave a nice comment, please do it below. Brett loves nice comments. We love it over here." For years. They don't know this? They don't know this. Selective memory when it comes to that, right? Dorn was a fucking content creator. And I think the name of her channel was Dawn Keene. Do a little Wayback Machine. You'll find it. None of that shit'll come down, though. Because reality doesn't matter in the Snark communities. What matters is how obsessively can we muckrake one person all day, every day. And it blows up eventually. Like, it all blows down. Yeah, we never pulled up their court documents. Other people did that, and we covered it. But that's their public info, right? I didn't make Brett Keene's channel name Brett Keene. He did. He became a public figure. He revealed who he was. And anybody, for any reason, can search somebody's name for public records. That's why they're called public records. I wouldn't have given my name if I had a rap sheet as long as my fucking arm that I was trying to keep secret from people. I'd do exactly what fucking Alchemist Soil was doing. My face never would have, no face, no case. My face never would have appeared out onto the internet if I had shit to hide about myself. Because I'm not a retard. I know what public records are. I know what things I can request with just a name, right? So Brett Keane named his shit Brett Keane. I didn't steal that information from him. He offered it. And I wasn't the weirdo that did the public records search on Brett Keane. I just covered the weirdo that did. And it was true. Brett Keane beat his mother and his wife, battery on both of them, and had a restraining order from Dorn after the birth of his daughter. All of that is 100% truth. Incontrovertible. So you want to compare me to him? You're going to have to start there. What's my rap sheet look like, guys? Paul Everett Parkey Jr. Pay your $30. Tell me what turns up. Yep, restraining order from his mother and his wife. Battery charges from both of them. Arrested both times and thrown in the county jail. Not kept. Charges were dropped. Because you know how abusers have enablers. But was arraigned for battery. Yeah, if you want to have a hobby that has you acting in a way that would lose you your job, don't get mad when people find out who you are. You know what I mean? If I were him, and that's true about him, and he's got some good gig where he doesn't want people to know that a dude is rent-free in his head 7 hours a day, fucking 7 days a week, across multiple social media platforms and multiple forums, across multiple alts and shit. Right? If he doesn't want people to know he's a creepy, obsessed weirdo, the one way to hide that with 100% efficiency is to not publicly be a creepy, obsessed weirdo. Man, that's the one way you can assure that your work and the people around you in your private life never find out what you're really like. The only way. Who's this moron that said you beat up Ashley? This is what I'm talking about. That's a muckraking subreddit where any rumor is passed off as truth. I've been labeled a pedophile, a sexual pest. People they say that I'm known for creeping on people on Discord when I don't even fucking get back to people. I don't even know DMs on Discord, bro. I don't do it. I don't use them other than to set up talks with people. So it's just absurdity after absurdity with nothing to back it. And it just passed off as truth over there because there's a mask on everybody over there. So what would normally in real life be defamation, slander, all of these things, right? It's all, and Reddit has no problem hosting that type of shit at this point in time. That is probably going to change, I would imagine. Snark subreddits are a big topic in the broader commentary community right now. And it's, you know, Reddit is not necessarily known for standing on business. Reddit will take down some subreddits if they have to save face. And right now, there's a big kind of public push with some court cases behind the idea that these places are just like hives of slander and supported spots where people can openly stalk online content creators and personalities with no repercussions and no ways for those content creators to take any legal action against them, right? So I think that we're pretty close to, at the very least, Reddit cracking down on these Snark things, and they'll have to go hide on some neo-Nazi Rumble thing or something and bury themselves. But for right now, they all are super comfortable just saying slanderous, fucking provably false shit about a person. Doxing his wife, all of it behind an anonymous functionally anonymous mask, right? None of them use their real names, not publicly. But I have a feeling that during movie night, when they're all snuggling, because remember, he admitted they do movie night over there. When they're all snuggling during movie night, I bet they've told some personal things about each other. Hey guys, I work in LA as a graphic designer. Shh, don't tell anybody. Loose lips. Yep, Reddit, but they eventually caved when people in the broader community became aware that Reddit was being used as a platform to spread child pornography. And then Reddit immediately just started mass deleting things that didn't even really have child porn on it. Anything that even smelled like it went, right? And it's going to be the same thing with these Snark subreddits, because it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to read through any of them and see that it's really creepy, obsessive, parasocial behavior that's being functionally allowed by Reddit, right? And so, court case gets big enough pushback, and Reddit will fold, and all of these little Snark subreddits will go. And a lot of the people that ran them and allowed these things to be published over and over again will be sued. Probably not a lot of them will win, but a lot of them will be exposed. Once again, lawsuit equals public record. So I think that, once again, I said it again at the beginning of the stream, and I'll say it again. There is a God, her name is Karma, and she's a bitch. Remember when you said you're in his walls? Because I am. I didn't know how deep I was, but I live in this dude's walls, his attic, and his basement. I'm in his trunk when he drives to work. I'm sitting in the cubicle next to him while he types away all day at a real estate office or some fucking stupid bullshit. I don't have to fucking even assume that. I can see it. I can prove it. His account alone, his Reddit account alone, proves it. No, he's no fucking. I'm not even gonna give him. Like, I'll be honest. At this point, I'm still heavily skeptical, because he's skeptical of everything I say. Even though I've been an open book my whole fucking career for 20 years, he's skeptical of every goddamn thing I say. So here we go. To the point where my father sat. Anyway, whatever. So here we go. What was I gonna? What was it? Fuck. I got off on him. I'm stoned. Oh, no. I don't even think he's got a job. Like I said, he's a paper bag to me. He is what I say he is. And if he wants to prove me wrong, I welcome it. But I don't think that I could maintain a job and post about somebody possibly upwards of 18 times a day, every day, for half a year, and actually have a job. You know what I mean? I don't think I could do it. So, kind of wild, right? I've already told him, though, even if he does, even if he pulls down all his shit, deletes his Reddit account, disappears into the ether, I'm still going to publish. There's nothing he can do now. It's an unstoppable train that's an eventuality. All I got to do is kick back and wait for the glass of milk to come to me for free. And in the meantime, he'll keep building a case, keep being unhinged. He's accelerated his posting about me. Yesterday it was, what was it? How many was it? 10 or 15 posts just on Reddit about me yesterday. So he's accelerating the obsession. You see? And this is all happening in public, right? They don't hide it anymore. People that did this type of shit used to hide in these private communities and shit. They do it right out in public now. So it's not even controvertible what's going on. You don't even have to go in and like join it surreptitiously and take snapshots of it. It's all right out there. Just did one 17 minutes ago, and there's currently a premiere all about me going on his channel. Bro, I'm his day-to-day. His day-to-day is Paul Day. This is Paul Day for him. Right? Sounds like the progress of some unchecked addiction. Well, like I said, I'm going to be really interested when I do get power word, real name, and place of business to dig through those public records. It's going to be interesting to see what comes up. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's absolutely nothing, but it'll be interesting nonetheless. It's going to be interesting to see credit applications and housing and all of that. And it's going to be interesting to scour the other social media sites for any public-facing profiles that he has, Facebooks, Twitters, etc. Like I said, if I were him, I'd have all of that shit closed well before I started doing what he's doing. But, you know, I'm not him. Well, I know you could pull his credit report, but I wouldn't have to use you to do that. Like, I wouldn't have to use you to do that. I could run a background check that pulls credit history. I've done it before. That's what I'm saying. I don't even have to involve anybody. I don't have to do anything sneaky, right? All I've got to do is pay my $30 and get my packet of info because it's public. Only thing that's not appended to it right now, it's keeping him a dotted outline instead of a real person, is his name or his place of business, one of the two. Either one of those gives me what I need. Matter of time. Place and manner of business, real name. Could be tomorrow, could be 6 months from now, and one of these autists gets pissed off and obsessed with him. Don't dox, bro. I will. I will. Yeah, I mean, we could, right? But like I said, I would never involve anybody. I don't need that. I just need them public records, bro. I want to see them rental applications. I want to see that shit. I want to see where this motherfucker has lived, how old he is, where he went to school, all that public record shit. I want to thumb through that. I want to take a look. He's a public figure, and it's public information, so, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be doxing, right? It's not doxing. To append somebody's public info to an account where they are private, where they don't say their name, that's not doxing. And that's from his mouth. So that's all I'm planning on doing. Exactly what he did to my wife. What are we talking about? You're talking about nothing. Ban him. It's a 108-minute long stream, and you're asking people to catch you up like we were all waiting for you to show up. You're a nobody. You're a faceless moron on the internet. I hate that, dude. That gets my goat. Like when people show up in the middle of a long-ass fucking stream and go like, they act like Fonzie just showed up. Hey, bros, what's going on? It's me, Donut Boy 29. What? Is that, do you really think that the world has you as its creamy center? Shut the fuck up. Nobody. Weirdo. Fucking transient weirdo. That nobody was waiting for and nobody cares is gone. Like, at least know where you're at. Yeah, you wait on the bus. The bus doesn't wait on you. Yeah. What the fuck? You don't see the bus leaving and go like, hey guys, I need a ride to work. Like, well, get to the fucking bus on time, dummy. Oh, shit, he did that to your wife? Yeah. He found my wife's private Reddit account that had nothing to do with her name and combed through it and released it to the public. And he said that's not doxing. So when I get his name and place of business, I plan to publish it because he's a public figure. That's it. Can I give you this?
Yeah.
I lit it on instinct and not out of need.
Okay.
Ugh.
The draw of the bushes.
Sorry. Yeah, I know. I can't stop. Too much green. Matter of time. It's too good an arc. You know what I mean? It's too good an arc. Anyway, I'm done. I'll see you guys some other time.